Greetings everybody. So today I'm here to talk about 3 different fuchsia berries. So fuchsia, you probably know that from the color fuchsia. And if you grow things or you like flowers, you may recognize that name for the fuchsia flower. And the fuchsia color gets its name from the fuchsia flower. However, there is a fruit of fuchsia plants. In the past, I did review one species of fuchsia, Fuchsia Magellanica, but there are tons. There's like dozens of different species of fuchsia. And the 3 that I have today are completely new for me, so we're going to do a little comparison of 3 different varieties. These, by the way, were sent to me by wanderlustnursery.com, so if you are interested in growing this, check out the link in the description below. The 3 species that I have today are Fuchsia Microfila, Fuchsia Glazioviana, and Fuchsia Procumbens. So this is the Fuchsia Glazioviana, and this looks the most similar to the one that I had in the past, which is why I'm going to start with this one. Similar shape, but it is a lot darker looking. They are quite sweet. Sweetness on that, I'd say, is like a 6 out of 10. Sweeter than an apple. The flavor is mild, but it's good. It's a little bit like a black raspberry. A foraged black raspberry. There's a little bit of like an herbal taste that you'd get to it. It does have a little bit of like a itchy, tingly sort of sensation when you eat it, but not very strongly, just a little bit. Something that you get sometimes from other foraged berries, like different types of rose hips will do that. Strong ones will make it feel like you're chewing on wool. This is just a little slight bit of like an itchy taste. I'm guessing that if you were to cook these and make them into a jam or something, that would probably go away entirely, but you do get a touch of it when you eat it fresh. And this is the flower of it, by the way. It's very, very cool looking. You can see why this is chosen for the ornamental purposes of it. Next, this is the Fuchsia Microfila, and it's much more round than the other one. It looks almost like a little dark blueberry. Not much flavor on that one. It's slightly sweet, but not a lot. I'd say it's like a 1 out of 10 on sweetness. There's a touch. And the flavor is just kind of mild. Maybe vaguely like a blueberry, but a very, very mild blueberry. And it is giving me a little bit of that like itchy sensation as well. A little bit more than the other one. So that one's not quite as good, but again, the flowers are beautiful, so it's something that you can grow the flowers of, and then if you want, you can collect the berries and make jam out of it or something. They'll probably blend pretty well with the other ones. So this one is Fuchsia Procumbens, also known as the creeping fuchsia, and I'm really excited about this one because this one has a pretty interesting story to it. It is endemic to New Zealand. So what that means is that this was growing with other fuchsias long, long ago, millions of years ago, and then when New Zealand broke off, this thing followed a different evolutionary path. And you can see that this is also very different looking. It's a bright red color, it's not that dark color, and it's big. It looks like a teeny tiny little pear, kind of. So this one is pretty interesting. The other thing about this is that it's actually a threatened species, so there is a danger that this might become extinct someday. However, people have found out that the Fuchsia Procumbens makes a really good ground cover, so gardeners really like this. People really like to grow this one for that reason, and using this in that way has kind of rescued this species a little bit. There's less of a danger now of this becoming extinct. Substantial. Those other ones are just tiny little things. This thing, it's got a crunch to it. The texture on it is good, but it reminds me a bit of just like biting into a piece of like okra. It's kind of mucilaginous and a little bit vegetal. Doesn't have a whole lot of flavor to it. The sweetness on this is like a 0. You can see that it does have a bit of a slimy texture to it. That sliminess makes me think that this could be used like okra. You might want to cook it, you might want to batter and fry it, but eating it raw, not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite out of the three. However, it looks really cool. The fruit itself looks really cool, and the flower on it also looks cool. So this is something that's more useful as an ornamental flower than the berries. Maybe there's a use for them, but eating them fresh, So that's about it. Fuchsias are really interesting. They're beautiful, and they are actually pretty useful. You can use the berries. Some are better than others, but I think any of those would probably be good, like if you're to make something out of them. So it's a sort of thing that you can grow for the flowers, enjoy them, and then pick the berries, and then find a way to use those. So again, thanks to Wanderlust Nursery for sending these to me. Again, if you grow plants and are interested in growing some fuchsia flowers and collecting some fuchsia berries along the way, check out the link in the description below. Take care. Bye-bye. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, AltPod, and the Harbor Leaf Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. I'm sure you've heard about patreon.com, but basically it is how I can afford to go on all the trips that I go on and how I get all the fruit that I review. That is all from funding from viewers like you. So if you enjoy what you're seeing here and you want to help me out, please check out the link in the description below, and there you can find out more. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.